Hello and welcome to another edition of Spotlight on Jackson County. I am so glad that he's back in the studio talking to us today. That's my old buddy Kenny Flanagan. Kenny, welcome to the show. Gosh, it's so great to have you back, man.
Yeah, glad to be back,
we always have
my
a
friend.
Good time, but we always put out a lot of information when you're on the show.
Well, we do. We try to get information out at the very least.
Well,
it's like me and you being amused, that's just a happy byproduct. I wish y'all could hear us off camera. Now that's where the real
today.
Not today. But that's where the real excitement is.
Yeah, that's
if we could pre-roll on that, we would have that would be an interesting show. That'd be an interesting
So we
show.
could do a behind the scenes.
A behind the scenes of our tapings.
Yeah.
I mean, FCC might have a few problems with it.
No, we'll just
beep, beep, just beep that right out. Like that Gordon Ramsay guy, they beep him all the time.
Kenny,
yes.
State of the county. WKFK
Good place
covered
to start.
it.
Good place to start.
WKFK
today.
covered it. I was there. Great presentation.
You had the whole staff there, Doug. I mean, you had everybody there.
Only 3 people.
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole staff.
Yeah,
anyway.
you had all the boys. You had all the boys.
And we aired it a bunch of times. I don't know exactly how many, but
5,
we did.
6 times, something like that.
And great piece of information. Mr. Harris did a great job presenting. You did a great job with all your wiring and connecting all the stuff together.
Yes,
and we were able to get the slides from you, and we were able to get those straight on rather shooting a screen so people could see them. And a lot of great information, great service to the community on the part of the supervisors, and a great service to the community on the part of WKFK.
I can't agree more, Doug. It is the way we do it with the presenting it to the Rotary clubs and different civic organizations throughout the year. It's a great opportunity for us to go to our different civic groups. But if you are a member of the working general public and you're not a member of the Rotary or the Civitans or something to that effect, it is a little harder to see it and to get that presentation. But with what y'all did with Channel 7, it was fantastic. I know y'all aired it at least 5 times, maybe even 6. Tammy just runs it whenever she feels like running. That's great. And that was wonderful because y'all really did. Y'all got it to the masses. You got it to the public. And really just the way it aired as if you were at one of these civic groups that we've been presenting it to, with Mr. Harris up there and then the slides and whatnot. So it really worked out great. And, it's nice when y'all bring in the whole team. It's one thing to bring a camera in and to set up a microphone. It's another thing when you bring in the whole team and the lighting kits. It showed a real effort on y'all's part, and it certainly was appreciated.
Well, that's what Channel 7 is all about. We're community-based television, and we want to do a great service to the community. But without the cooperation of Kenny here and the Board of Supervisors, we wouldn't be able to bring it to you. And you're right. People can't always get off work. People can't always go to these civic functions. But this information is something that is very important.
It is.
It lets everybody know what your county supervisors are doing, the projects that they're currently working on, the money that they don't have to spend, or the money that they are
or the money you do have to spend, sure.
And it's very important that that information gets out, because we all get so tied up in our daily lives, and there's just no way for one news story to contain all of this information.
Yes.
So that's what we do.
Doug, we talk about it all the time on your show here. It is so easy to get wrapped into your national politics. It's easy to get wrapped in right now with the state legislature with their politics. But really, when you think about it, where you are locally, your city and your county government honestly has more to do with your day-to-day living than any other form of government. And so many times you just kind of say, oh, I'll read that article in the newspaper later. Or, you know what, I'll just read that on the website later. Because, it's not as flashy as the state and federal news. And we all need to pay attention to our state and federal stuff. It definitely affects us long term. But as far as your day-to-day life goes, stoplights and your taxes and what's happening in your neighborhood and development plans and future land use, that's all your county government. And you want to get people hot, you start talking about putting up a stoplight or taking down a stop sign, something like that. And that's really where we come into it, where your county, that's where the rubber meets the road with your local county and city governments.
Speaking of the rubber meeting the road, you're talking about paving of roads, which involves safety. You're talking about bridge replacement, which involves safety.
Yes.
But you're also talking about parks and recreation, and boat launches, things that people quality of life, but they kind of just take for granted.
Well, it's easy to. It's easy to. And you know what? And honestly, we love the idea that if you think to yourself, oh yeah, I'll just go to a boat launch in Jackson County. Well, you know what? Honestly, that's a great thing, because that means that our recreation department, Jack Hamilton, is doing a great job. And you know, every time you go to a boat launch, it's going to be there ready for you. It's going to be in good working order. And that side, we'd love to be just a taken for granted. But it's so many people involved in those type of things. Just to keep a park where you take it for granted, it takes literally an entire staff to make sure that the grass is mowed and trash is picked up and the swing sets are safe and the sandbox is free of, whatever, and make sure it's a good, safe environment. It takes a whole staff. A lot of people don't realize during the summer season, our recreation department, half of them have to turn over to grass cutting duties. When that sun starts beaming down and the rain starts pouring, we literally, our recreation department shifts into just a grass mowing department because we all know with your own yards, you let it go for 2 weeks, you're not getting it back. You're in a battle at that point.
The thing about grass is it never sleeps. It grows 24 hours a day.
It does.
So while you're in there cutting these, it's growing outside. I'm telling you, it is. It's something.
And you got a piece of property. It's
3.5 acres to mow.
Yeah, that's right. And 3.5 acres for us, that's considered a very small county park. That's considered one of our smaller county parks. So we spend a lot of time during the summer mowing grass. And
it's an all-day job at my house, I can tell you that.
Well, you have your wife out there. It's awful with a pair of scissors. It's terrible the way you treat her. But
Kenny, you can't keep letting these secrets out here.
But that's how she stays in such great shape, though. That's how you know.
I hope she's not watching this.
I hope so. God love her. If you are interested in the State of the County address and you'd like to have a little bit more information about it, we do have it posted on the county's website. We've had it there since the first day we made the presentation. You can go there. We'll leave it posted for the next 2 years, honestly. You can go look at last year's State of the County address and the previous year. So we try to keep like 3 years in the can for you. And you can go back and compare and see where the numbers were from last year to this year to 2 years ago and see where we are fiscally. And you can do your own research. We have it all up there. Just go to the website. You can go a couple different spots. You can go to the What's New section. Now, it'll stay on What's New probably for another few weeks, and then I'll have to move it off because it will no longer be new.
What's New.
It was What's New, exactly. And at that point, it'd be what is kind of older. But where it will be for the next 3 years is underneath the Board of Supervisors page. Just go to the Board of Supervisors page and you'll see it listed at its own State of the County address, and it's right there as well. And there's all sorts of other stuff there too, so you can spend some time there if you'd like. And just go to www.co.jackson.ms.us or whatever everybody does. Just Google Jackson County and it'll pull it up. Just we're usually 1 or 2 without a doubt.
Jackson County, Mississippi, because there are other Jackson counties in the country.
Tons of Jackson counties. There are more Jackson counties than any other ones out there and everything. In fact, we have our good friends in Minnesota, Jackson County, Minnesota. I was just talking to them the other day.
Yeah.
Got 3 feet of snow in like a 36-hour period. Crazy.
I can't wait for the grass to start growing, to be honest with you. I mean,
it is kind of brown.
Has been
yeah, it's kind of brown out there and everything. My friend, how much time we got left before I know we got to keep moving and grooving here. We got a little bit. We're good?
We got about 4 minutes in this segment. Can we talk about the mural?
Yeah, let's do that. Great idea. It's like we planned this out. It's excellent.
We actually do talk before we start.
Do it. That's where the pre-show would be.
This mural is pretty famous.
It is. Quite the saga behind the Singing River mural. Some people call it Singing River mural. Some people call it the Anderson mural. There's a variety of different names out there, but it is the mural that is now back at its permanent home in the Courts building in downtown Pascagoula. It has had quite the saga, Doug. It was originally commissioned by the American Legion Post here in Pascagoula and was hung, as Doug correctly said, in the hospital.
Yes,
Now you're going back 40 years with that point.
Well, I can do that. I can remember.
That's
the problem.
You got that.
That's the problem. I can remember that.
So, and then from there, the saga began of the Singing River mural, and it has moved. And I will not go through the entire bit. Check out the latest news release we have on the county's website. You can get the whole saga. But the most important, probably the latest development, was when Hurricane Katrina came through.
We've got a photo, Austin.
Yeah.
And when Austin can bring it up, but go ahead.
There it is. That is where she is hanging right now. This is at the top of the stairs in the Courts building. There in downtown Pascagoula. That's the Chancellery Court building, Circuit Court building. Everybody's in there. It's on top of the second floor. You can see the staircase right there. You can see it is a large mural. I think it's made up of 4 or 5 8-foot panels. And what it's an oil painting. It is done on canvas with a plywood backing. and it was done by one of the Anderson boys, Mac Anderson, which is Walter Anderson. I believe it was his eldest brother, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
But
there's so many of them.
There are, anyway, no disrespect to the Anderson family there, but it was one of the brothers there, and he painted it. Obviously kind of a flora, fauna piece, a landscape, riverscape, and it's supposed to be, of course, of the Pascagoula River in one of its early forms, long before development, and of course it's named the Singing River Mural. Katrina came through, put about 4 or 5 feet of water in the downstairs, and there was a real concern that all that water and humidity would cause it to cause it damage. So we took it down, we took it over to the Mary C. O'Keefe for a while, and then we have brought it back, and we're going to have a homecoming ceremony next Wednesday, 1 week from today. Right there, right where you're looking at the top of the stairs, we're going to have a little homecoming ceremony to officially welcome it back to the county property. It's going to be very nice. We got a number of people who were part of the original restoration project of it, and they're going to all be there. We're hoping a member of the Anderson family will be there as well. And if anybody out in the general public is interested, you're more than welcome to pop over next Wednesday at 2 o'clock over at the courts building. We'll have some light refreshments. Don't come hungry. Then we might have some coffee. I'm working on some coffee. But most importantly, we hung it back right at the end of 2010. It was right during the holidays. We got it back on the wall. It was so busy with the holidays, we just didn't have a chance to do much with it. And then we said, you know, we do want to recognize that she has finally come home and back on the wall where we're supposed to be. A lot of people don't realize that when the new building was being built, the courts building was being built all those years ago, that painting was the color schemes were taken for the whole building. The tile, the painting, the wallpaper, everything was taken off for that painting. So it is really it's really kind of a pivotal piece, and we're happy to have it back, and all the folks who got it through its entire saga, its whole time, from storage to being restored to moving all around. So everybody, it's a big thank you. We're glad to have it back.
Well, Kenny, we're going to have to take a short break
here.
Okay,
all right.
But we're going to come back with more with Kenny Flanagan right after this. Welcome back to Spotlight on Jackson County. I've got my old buddy Kenny Flanagan in the studio. In the first segment, we told you about some interesting things that have been going on in the county. And Kenny, something very big is coming up. Big, folks. Big.
Huge.
Not even small.
Epic.
Proportions is coming. It's coming
huge
for Jackson County.
No, it really is titanic in
nature.
Yes.
So look for Kenny in the next Titanic movie on the bow of the Titanic with the wind blowing in his hair and the bugs in his teeth.
There's going to be another one of those. You know it. They're remaking everything. So, but no, we really do. We have
the ship sank. What can you do now? I mean, it's like
those guys will come up with something. They're clever. They're very clever.
Okay.
No, we really do. We have a very big project that is basically going to start about 2 weeks from right now, and it is the county's planning of our bicentennial. Doug, the clock is counting down now. We are officially on the clock, and it is basically 1 year, 10 months, 2 weeks, depending on when you watch this show, of when the county's official anniversary is, or legal anniversary is, and it's going to be in 2012, December 2012, and the planning process is in effect right now. And I want to invite everyone in Jackson County to take part in our bicentennial planning. We're going to have our very first planning meeting, and this is going to lead to what we're calling the Bicentennial Commission. The Board of Supervisors is totally behind this project. We've already got some seed money the board set aside for the bicentennial. Now, granted, it is only obviously February 2011, and the bicentennial is not until December 2012. But for the things that we've heard out in the community, the folks that I've talked to in the community and things that they want to do, you've got to start planning now for these type of things, and especially for big ticket projects and whatnot. But we're really, really excited about this, and we have our very first planning meeting that's going to be 1 week from tomorrow. 1 week from tomorrow.
Yeah,
watching this.
Austin, we have a graphic for that.
To the graphic, my friends, and then we can
there you go.
We can lock this into your brains right now. The Jackson County Jackson County Bicentennial Commission. That's kind of our name in progress right now. If we get everybody together and they don't like that name, we'll scrap and do it over. It's, all ideas are on the table right now.
Sounds good to me.
So, well, Doug's in. That's good.
Yeah.
Doug, what do you think? Can you make our first meeting on Thursday, February the 24th at 6 p.m., literally just down the street from your house?
Well, you know, I'm going to try, because I could almost throw a rock and hit that
almost
from my
get
house.
to the brand new Fontainebleau Community Center on Highway 57.
It depends on how far my wife gets along with the scissors and the lawn.
Let's hope she's moving at a good pace there.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering, the new Fontainebleau Community Center is on Highway 57. It is literally 1 block south of the railroad tracks. We tried to find a location that was right in the middle of the county. Now, granted, I admit if you're in the Wade community or Hurley community, getting down to Fontainebleau is a bit of a haul. If you're in the Latimer community, it's a bit of a haul. But we wanted to try to make it as central as we could for everybody in the county. We'd love to have you out. So that is next Thursday, February the 24th at 6 p.m. at the new Fontainebleau Community Center. At the very least, come out and see the new Fontainebleau Community Center. It's only been open less than a year.
I was about to say it's a beautiful facility.
It really is.
I mean, and it's well built.
And it is a bomb shelter, that thing.
And
it
he's
is
not kidding.
No, it is thick. When you start walking through the doors and you hear those things shutting like a submarine behind you, submarine doors, you realize you're like, wow, this thing is really
reminds
built.
me of Cheyenne Mountain with a So, yeah, it's a bomb shelter.
It really is. It's a very decorative bomb shelter. But anyway, we can talk about the benefits of the shelter later on. But it's going to be hopefully a great night. This is more than just an organizational meeting, and we want more. I want our local historians. We really do. But this is open for more than just local historians. If you are just someone who's interested in the 200 years that have led to the formation of Jackson County and our 200 years since formation, we want you. If you're an educator, if you're just somebody who thinks, you know what, I'd like to help promote that, or I'd like to just learn more about it, we want you. It is not something just for a small group of people. We're looking for a nice cross section of all Jackson County, and this is going to be an event. The official legal date that the county was formed, Doug, and I've got to thank our local library. They went through the state archives, and we have got a copy of the document, and it is December 18th, 1812. Then the territorial governor of Mississippi signed us into legally being. Of course, it was signed in Jackson County, and now I'll tell you, there is a little bit of controversy about the date in question, but I'm saying legal date. I am saying the legal date in which the territorial governor of Mississippi signed us into being. We're going to go with that right now, with all due respect to our other local historians of other dates out there. And I'd be more than happy to talk about those dates at our big meeting coming up. But the more important thing is we're going to celebrate the county's bicentennial throughout 2012. We're going to make it a year-long celebration. We're not going to just focus it on one date, because the county's history and our diversity and the fabric that makes up this community is so much more than just a one-day celebration. And that's the reason we need this planning commission. And if you miss this first meeting, don't worry. We're going to have many more. We're going to try to set up a schedule of when we're going to meet. We're going to have chairs, and we're going to see where the commission wants to go. Do we want to have stuff for school kids? Do we want to have like a run? Do you want to have statues and fireworks? Or do we, wherever all ideas are on the table right now. And then that's what we're going to do with the commission. We're going to start narrowing it down, because there are finite, you do have finite resources, and we're going to try to see what is the things that are the most popular. Doug, I got a brand new development here for you. In fact, tomorrow, I am, and Miss Lois and I, our archivist, our head of our archives, we're heading up to Jackson, and we are meeting with the director of the state archives. We've been talking to them. We really think that the state's going to be a tremendous partner for us in this. So we're expanding out. We're going to turn over every stone we can. We're going to see what the state archives has to offer for us, maybe in the way of displays or more historical information. And I want to invite everyone, if you are a member of a civic group or a historic group or something to that effect, a civic group, we'd love to come speak to you. We'd love for you to come out to that meeting in February here. Let's do the graphic again.
Oh, okay.
Can we do that? Do we have that ability? I'm sure we do.
Yeah, Austin can do anything in there. There
Austin,
it is.
It's like magic.
It's like magic. There it is.
So February the 24th, 6 p.m. And I will say the meeting, I'm anticipating the meeting to go about an hour. a formal meeting hour, and then, of course, with all of these type of meetings, there's generally about another hour's worth of talking in the parking lot. So, but as far as the meeting goes, an hour, hour and a half at the most, and then we'll try to get you out there, get you home for your family. If you cannot make it right at 6 p.m., do not worry about that. Come at 6:30. Come at 6:45. Come and talk to me in the parking lot before you leave. Before I leave. The most important thing is to get there and get your name on the list. Let us know that you're interested and find out what commission or group you'd be interested in working with or leading, and that type of thing. And we are going to go over so much has happened in 200 years since the county was formed. I mean, when you think about it, it took the document almost a full week to make it from, let's say, current day Pascagoula, which did not exist, all the way up to Jackson. I mean, it took almost a week just to get the document there. Can you imagine? Today, it would literally take a minute to email it, less than that. A tremendous amount has happened. We're talking about a world that literally worked at about 3 miles an hour. That was about the fastest you could have consistent transportation. Now, a horse could go over that, but not for a long time. I mean, really about 3 mile an hour.
If you
world.
average it out, that's about what a horse can do.
Yep. And think about where we are now, transportation-wise. It is an amazing jump in 200 years. And, of course, it gets you thinking what's going to be Jackson County for the next 200 years. So it is going to be, the Board of Supervisors wants this bicentennial to be a commemoration of our past, but also a celebration of the next 200 years in Jackson County. And I've already had the chance to meet with so many wonderful groups about this, and we're really looking forward to expanding that and meeting some more groups. The insight I've already gotten has been tremendous. There are so many wonderful people like Tommy Wixon and Ms. Liz Ford who have just can't wait. Martha Duvall, all of these people they just flood me with ideas. Probably too many ideas already, but that's where we want at this point. We're going to take it in there. So Doug, we'd love to have you out. Obviously, the stuff that you do talking about the past, and granted, Doug's got his time period, his niche there. It's all part of it. It's all part of that 200 years. And
I like the fact that you're wanting to educate the young people about the history of Jackson County, because in history courses they learn about ancient Greece, but they really don't include a whole lot about the history of the county that they live in.
Right.
So that's one of my wishes, is that we can actually get into the schools and talk about different aspects of history and how it affected Jackson County over the last 200 years.
Let me give you a great example, something I've just learned as we've done the research. I didn't realize that the very first railroad was started in South Carolina. And literally, it was a Christmas Day thing, and then 3 years later, there was a full railroad here in Jackson County between Moss Point and Pascagoula, or what I'm calling current day Moss Point. The events that shaped America, Jackson County is a great microcosm. It's a great reflection. You can really see the cause and effect of things happening around the world, and then boom, the effect on Jackson County, and Jackson County, how it represented the U.S. The shipbuilding industry is a great example of that.
And no more important than the World War II years was
Absolutely.
The shipbuilding industry and the ships that Jackson County turned out, and not only the citizens of Jackson County, but citizens came from all over the place to work in that shipyard.
That's right.
And to build those ships and help win the biggest conflict the world has ever known, World War II.
That's right.
And a lot of people are living in homes that were built for those people to live in right now. I mean,
that's right.
So it all ties together.
It is.
I mean, it's just like
and that's
this.
what's fascinating, because you feel, you can feel like you're not connected to the rest of the world sometimes, but really when you look at our history, Jackson County has absolutely been woven into our nation's history and our world's history since the very beginning. And so obviously we could talk a lot about the bicentennial, but our very first step is going to be this meeting 1 week from tomorrow night, and we'd love to have you at the Fontainebleau Community Center on that Thursday night, 6 p.m. And Doug, it's going to be a working meeting. Come ready to work and come focused, because I got focus group stuff, I got surveys for you. It's more than just a meet and greet. We got some work to do.
And every resident of Jackson County is invited to this meeting.
Including you, Doug.
And come with your ideas,
yes.
your input, and just present it. It's going to be open to whatever you want to say.
Yeah, that's been perfect.
Yeah.
We'll have a little presentation. We'll work it all out.
It's great that the supervisors are doing this and they're open to all of this information that people are willing to bring to the
If you need a little bit more information, just give my office a call. Happy to it. And if you need to brush up on your history before the meeting, just go to the county's website, go to the About Us section. You'll see the history. We've got a very, very brief history. But if you feel like, hey, I like to brush up a little bit before the meeting, we got a little spot for you on the website early on. Just go ahead and kind of get yourself acclimated, ready to roll.
Or if you're a little bit older and you know some history that's not on the website, or some history that's been passed down through your generation, please bring
that'd be great.
information with you.
Great suggestion, Doug.
Yeah.
See, I think you're going to be... I think I'm glad we're going to have you there.
Oh, okay.
There was real talk about not inviting, but I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're going to be in. Bring your wife. It'd be lovely.
Well, she's finished with that scissors on the lawn.
And, Good. Eat dinner before you come.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no refreshments.
Eat
dinner before you come.
No refreshments.
No, eat dinner before you come.
Okay.
All right, my man.
Well, Kenny, it's been a pleasure
as
always. Great information.
We'll catch you in March.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. We'll see you in March.
We need an update in March about what's going on.
Absolutely. We'll see you then.
And don't forget, join us next week for another edition of Spotlight on Jackson County.